Welcome to Pull a Pin Ready, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But I promise you, we can give them to you anyway.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Nate. Let's pull the pin already.
What's going on, Nate?
Hey, yeah, we
Oh,
get pretty good at this intro.
yeah, I know.
We
I
get in
like the
there.
headspace there. I had to rotate my camera down. Yeah, we are. We're getting, what is it, after 200? Well, actually, this is like
Couple years.
episode 280 something, but that's not counting 100 and something. I don't know. We're probably close to 400 episodes, which is great. But the fact that we have what, one fan per every 100, not bad, not bad. So we're going to need to do a lot of episodes to get a lot more fans.
1%. We're getting there.
Yeah, but our usual's there. I didn't hear from Christine last week, I don't think. Johnny obviously contributing. We appreciate you, Johnny. And yeah, oh, and then another random BitChute commenter with, of course, the conspiracy of certain group of people taking over the world, which, like I said, I'm more than willing to discuss this. As long as we're not generalizing, then it's kind of a, I mean, I guess you could generalize if it's a group, like a, what is that? The Freemasons used to be a group, right? Isn't that something like that used to be one of those Illuminati groups or something they used to talk about? Is that right? Or you remember that?
The Al Qaeda's a group. We can generalize all of them.
Right. Well, so that's an example, and I think we discussed it before. So I don't want to belabor it and do it injustice. But when someone chooses to join a group and they know what they stand for, then that's their choice. But if somebody has a characteristic that they didn't choose, you can't just generalize those people. Anyways, we're going to generalize this headline stuff because that's what we came here for, to get some headlines off the mainstream media and talk about them because we probably haven't read the articles because we know you haven't either. So we're going to tell you what they're about and why is that important that we tell you.
Yeah, because we're average veterans. We've been around the world and we know everything.
Yes. So we're going to do that, and don't worry about it. Don't worry. We'll tell you even when to get mad. So don't worry about it. So, all right, we want to jump in. Oh, now there's a gnat in here. Are you
You get it?
serious?
You
No,
get
I
it?
don't think so.
All right. Well, let's go headlines then. Oh, well.
Yep. Biden motorcade welcome to Hawaii with middle
I don't,
fingers.
I don't think Hawaii's the only state that welcomes him with middle fingers.
Yeah, I saw the video. You know the problem with these videos? It could be like three people. You know what I mean?
Score.
And and they just like take that. So I'm not willing to say that that's the reception he got per se. But these people in Hawaii, dude, I told you I was stationed in Hawaii for 3 years. And I know there's a group of people out there who don't believe in our country laws and all that stuff. I know there's people out there like that. And then if you look at the rest of the people, they're traditionally Democratic. There's a lot of tourists there. So for these people to not like Biden, I think that's quite an accomplishment. You know what I mean? I think it's
Job
got to
well
be that
done.
bad. Right. And you think about this Hawaii stuff, man. Like, dude, like you remember the train wreck that caused all that kind of stuff was it was in Ohio?
Ohio, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that? And Biden didn't come out to that, and they were trying to downplay that. There's even shady stuff now in the aftermath. The guy when the submarine, I guess, was the one responsible for all that or something that allegedly died in the submarine, the little mini sub thing. Well, this is crazy because they even went and asked the governor. I think it was the governor. I watched the media ask the governor how many children died in this Hawaii wildfires, and he didn't have an answer. He didn't have a number. He didn't say more than 100, more than he didn't have any answer.
If
Eh,
Hawaii identified as Ukraine, they get a lot more money.
Right? Isn't it crazy though? But I mean, like it just blows my mind. Like, how embarrassing does it have to get? And you know what? Even worse, even too. What Kamala? What's her name? And some other senator. Some they're blaming climate change. I lost you, Nate. I think that's you this time. You just bowed out for a second. I think that's you because you're registered low
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
want to.
internet.
I don't want to hear what you were talking about anymore.
Because I was talking bad about your favorite people, right? I
I
got
don't
it.
know. I missed it.
Well, this Hawaii stuff, I was talking about the VP Harris and a senator talking, blaming climate change for this.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Obama has a waterfront house there because of climate change, right? Just,
You know,
just checking. Just checking.
even they even said that. Was it Mount? Was it Oprah? Oprah's got a mansion. All the rich people's houses didn't get catch on fire.
Why
There's
would
only
they?
all this one section of town where they're trying to build a smart city that caught on fire. So whatever, man. These are things conspiracies are made of, but in the end, the conspiracy theorists turn out to be more right than the regular people. So my heart goes out to these people in Hawaii. I cannot imagine. You know, they said that when the winds picked up, the schools let the kids out and sent them home. Most of those kids went home to empty houses. And then those houses caught on fire. Could you imagine? I mean, could you imagine if that happened to your children?
I mean, I
There
guess
would,
the kid had to be old enough to be left out of school because I don't. You just can't let a first grader out of school to go home. I mean,
I wouldn't think so either. So, but like I said, they're talking about hundreds of kids.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if it's true because obviously we didn't fact check it, but I wouldn't doubt it. But I'm just saying, just imagine that. Imagine your kids are at home and the house is on fire and you don't even know your kids are at home or you can't get to them. You know what I mean? Man, there'd be hell to pay, I think, especially with the government acting the way they are right now. I don't know. I feel for these people in Hawaii. And just like you said, let's make them a suburb of Ukraine and send them some of that money.
It's the government. There's no hell to be paid. Nothing's going to happen to them, as usual.
No, you're right. You're right. Not even in the election process, because you know we know that's going to go. People are going to still vote. I bet you most of those people still vote Democrat and just blame Biden or something. Because
How do you
I
how do you
hear it
keep
was
voting
the
that way and then blame? You can't vote that way and then blame. Can't do that.
well, I hear it was the reason the fires. I mean, what they say, like I said, the reason the fires were out of control is because the same thing happened in California. They were doing all these, spending all this money on Green New Deal initiatives, and they weren't cutting back the dead brush. They weren't, you know what I
Hmm.
mean, doing all that stuff. Now, I tend to believe that there's more happening here than that. I tend to lean on the conspiracy side of this because there's too many coincidences. But we'll wait to see what comes of it.
We're going to change the name of this show to pull the conspiracy theory already. I'm pulling this headline.
Yeah, before it gets deeper. Well, let's talk about Biden again. Oh, here's another one. Biden used fake names while VP. House GOP reveals and demands records. Did you
What
hear
was the?
this?
No, I haven't. What was the fake name? Do you know?
I don't know. It was something like Stephen. I don't know. Some one of those names. It was a name. Basically, he was the email was sent to this person, and then he had the nerve to copy Hunter on it or something, or I don't know, something like that. I don't really care because, like you just said previously, nothing's gonna happen. So just put it in a book, put it in a movie, and I'll go watch it. You know what I mean? You
But
put a big
did he use a fake name to
launder money. Yes,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
it wasn't just for his subscription only fans.
Dang
Yeah,
it.
no, it
I got to
wasn't.
update my subscription.
Yeah,
That reminded me.
yeah. So it wasn't just that. So either way, um, I'm not surprised. Like and even at that, like, do you want to think you're gonna notice in this show? I don't think we're gonna talk about is Trump.
When's this guy going to get impeached?
Well, you know what? There was an interesting point just came up. Obviously, he's not going to, right? Because the Republicans are just spineless too, and they're mostly Democrats anyway. But we don't want him impeached at this point. I don't think because right doesn't just like Donald Trump. You got to give him. You got to get him through the Senate. The
Yeah, I mean,
Senate's not
you
going to impeach him.
well, they didn't impeach Trump either, so they
Well,
just did it as a stunt. So why doesn't the other side do a stunt too? I mean, come on.
well, but that's the point. Is what has Trump got? Trump keeps going up every time they do something to him. So why give this guy a victory? Just let him serve out his term, do all the destruction he can
Okay.
do, and let the people vote him out.
You
Because
think
that's
they're
what's
gonna?
going to have to happen anyway.
You think it's gonna happen?
Well, it has to happen. What needs to happen is the people need to turn out in such mass that they overcome the cheating. That's what
They,
has to happen.
you can't.
Well, you can. I think you
No,
can.
not when the government controls the polls.
Well, you say that polls don't mean nothing, right? Because when was the last time you were polled, right?
No, no, I mean the
Not
voting
on a
polls.
poll, not on a poll. Oh, yeah.
The
Well, but sure, sure. I guess what you're saying, but people will know if their vote was wrong. Like you can go check to see what your vote was.
Yeah,
So people held accountable. Then they can revolt. I mean, then you can have a real insurrection, and people could actually get guns and take over the government because they know they've been cheated, not just because they think they've been cheated, right? And show up with a bunch of old ladies and cameras, right? So at some point, these people that are desperate for power are going to push too far. It always happens, right? Isn't that the thing with? I always used to tell people you can rob a bank once. The problem is when you rob a bank, it's exciting, it's easy. Not that I know this from experience, but the problem is you do it again, and when you do it again is when you get caught, because then you get
gotcha,
complacent.
gotcha.
So these cheaters can cheat, and you can see, they're bringing back their old methods, whatnot. Anyways, but they can cheat all they want, but they're going to eventually get caught. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get caught.
And what's going to happen?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I
As,
mean,
as I as I always say, and what's going to happen?
well, I don't know. When's it going to be bad enough? Like, doesn't everybody
Yeah.
have a breaking point? Everybody has a breaking point. Like, you mess with my family, you've already crossed the breaking point. You know what I mean? And that's where I think people are going to have to, it's going to have to be personal for everyone. Because we've got such a divide now. Like, the rich elites that have all the voices, they're the ones saying, oh, we do this, do that, because it doesn't affect them. The price of gas doesn't affect them. The cost of groceries doesn't affect them. So it's easy for them to dismiss that. So in the end, it's going to have to take hitting everybody.
It won't. It won't because some people still think there's nothing wrong with it, and will
Yeah, well,
always
I
think
mean,
nothing's wrong with it.
but look at the opposite. Look at the masses, the looters right now, the people stealing. So that movement got started, and now everybody's getting away with it. So the masses are starting to do more of it because they think they can get away with it. So you see the trickle effect that's happening is once one group gets fed up, it'll start an avalanche. And then before you know it, I think once the food shortage, once people start starving and going hungry, you're gonna have problems. I think
By
so.
then, by then, the government has too much control.
Right, but you can't stop people from revolting. Like I think you would die to protect your family, right?
Yeah,
Well, if my kids are starving and I know the people on the other side of that wall have a whole refrigerator full of ice cream, I'm going to get some ice cream. Like, and I'm a good man with, good morals and values, but you're not going to let me starve while you were the cause of it, protecting what you got on the other side. No, it ain't happening, dude. And I think most people are like that. Most people are not going to let that happen to them or their family. So I think they're going to push too far one time because they underestimate the power of the pushback. That's how this country was formed, right? And it was just a small group of people. Remember, the revolution wasn't fought by everybody in the country. It was a small group of people that got pissed off and said, "Nope, enough is enough," and people backed them. You know. But
well,
anyway,
these people need to get pissed off and say enough's enough.
yeah, Rutgers. Wow, what state's Rutgers in?
Dirty Jers.
New Jersey. And people wonder why I can't stand that place. I mean, I just Rutgers will still require COVID vaccine and mask mandate. I mean, if you are still
You're,
sending your kids to these colleges,
you're stupid. You're
you're an
stupid.
idiot. You're
Get
just
on
an
out.
idiot.
Yep.
You're an idiot because I don't understand. Like, well, I do understand why they're still pushing it because they got to keep the lie going so that they can use that technique again. Like, as if there is no more COVID, then they can't push the mail-in ballots, which is where they cheat the most, which even the Democrats admitted to years ago. Even the machine voting and the mail-in ballots, the Democrats said, "Oh, that stuff's too easy to cheat
Well,
in."
even Biden said COVID's over. So what are we doing here? How can they mandate this if there's no COVID? If
Well,
there's no emergency order?
they said there's a strand coming now that's more contagious. It's like the Omicron, the last one, but it's more contagious. But scientists are already saying it's not a big deal. It's no worse than the flu, and that's what's going to happen anyway, right? The flu is going to be labeled COVID.
Of course.
It's all going to be one thing. So because they know the flu has been going on for years and years and years, it's just going to be a COVID thing. And every 4 years, just like all the virtue signaling every 4 years, COVID's going to be a thing. The 3 years in between, nobody's going to care. And then all of a sudden, COVID's going to be a thing again. So it's
Well,
a tactic now.
yeah.
It's a tool in their belt.
If you go to this school, you're stupid too.
Yeah, I feel for them because you know the ramifications. Like you're a sports guy, right? Rutgers has football team, basketball teams. They have sports. So these kids that want to play and live near their parents because they live in Jersey, yeah, I'm sorry, it affects you. Do what you do. You do you, and I'll do me, and leave me the hell alone. And I won't be in Jersey as long as I can help it.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this headline alone.
Exactly. Send them back to Jersey. Oh, here's another great state. New York City proposes housing illegals in jail where Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
So that's every jail except for one.
Right. Well, even that one, right? No, I thought that part was funny. I mean, obviously, it was a tainted, or the headline was clearly written by somebody.
They should treat them like prisoners too while they're in there.
Whoa! Uh-oh, COVID.
Oh, he
Let
already
me get
got
my
it.
mask. Let me
You
get
already
my
got
mask. I talked about it, and the government pushed it through my microphone. But so think about this. Like, this makes sense, right? House them in jail because they broke the law. Duh. Like, hello. And they can wait there for their court appearance. Wow, like New York is brilliant. They're just brilliant.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what they're thinking.
no, that's not.
Oh,
But isn't
oh,
it
oh,
funny how
oh,
they
oh.
come to that conclusion? Like, are you serious? Like,
Could be good. Could be good.
it just baffles me, dude. The stupidity of these people. You know, the governor and the mayor are arguing back and forth on who caused this COVID not COVID, the illegal influx problem they got.
You can't argue back and forth. You're both the problem, dumbasses.
Exactly, dude. It's so hilarious, man. I love watching these liberal lunatics talk out both sides of their face. It's
Love it.
hilarious, dude. It's hilarious. Get a standard. Keep, you know what I mean, one standard. But anyways, yeah, we can move on from these. That's the last one, huh?
That's the last one. We're gonna move on
Well,
to the next episode in a couple days.
yeah, a couple days. 1 day, 2 days. Two is a couple, right? Three is a few. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and end this episode because we know you're probably bored of it too. And the headlines weren't really great. It was good stuff out today. I don't know. But anyway, we got to get back to work and other business because you guys aren't sending us all your money. So we need to make sure we're making money so that we can keep bringing you this free stuff for free. Although it's not entirely free. We already discussed that though. But anyways, Nate, thanks for showing up. Thank you all for commenting. Thanks to our usual listeners. We appreciate you. And until then, Godspeed. What? I didn't hear anything. You're muted. You can't even say and pull the pin.
And pull the pin already. Boom. My finger. My my hand must have pushed.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.